Okay, I got the other tank out and I didn't have to remove these pieces of wood.
I'm gonna put up for you. It's called the Fisherman. It's a little bit different shape than the rest. It's got 4 sides to it.
See, this is the kind of thing you do that makes everything harder. I was looking forward to making another trip to the store. Just kidding, I don't want to go to the Hey, I know no one likes an unnecessary YouTube intro, but I wanted to give a little bit of context about this series and how it'll go. So this is the first episode in a series documenting the refit of my Westsail 32. The boat is in South Carolina, but I live in Washington State, so I'll be making trips out there for 2 to 3 weeks at a time to work on the boat, and I'll break each trip up into a couple, 2-3 episodes with a handful of projects each. And this is the first one. I've made one trip out there and got a few videos queued up, and this is the first one. So hope you enjoy and catch you later. Take care. I just arrived at the boat after driving from Phoenix to South Carolina. One of the first things I want to do is measure the hoist for the mainsail. Okay, so here's the main halyard, and I've got the spool attached to the shackle. And then this is attached to a spare line so I can retrieve it once it goes up. Alright, so the wind's blowing and I can't get it to like stay right on the mast, so it's not a perfect, I'll have to do this on a comm day to get a perfect measurement, but it's roughly 38 feet. So that's enough. What I'm really trying to do right now is to figure out how long a mast ladder would have to be. So the halyards I've noticed there's this kind of a lot of friction in the sheaves, maybe. I don't know. It seems like I'm used to halyards being pretty smooth. And yeah, there's just a little bit of friction that's pretty obvious. And when I hoisted the mainsail, it took a lot of effort, and I think that was contributing to it. So I'm curious if the lines are oversized, if they're maybe too big for the sheaves. That'd be nice if that was all it took. I'm going to try to lubricate the sheaves when I get up to the top of the mast. But in the meantime, I'm looking up, here I'll show you. Westsail.com has all this amazing info. I think it was all put together by Bud Taplin. It says that for the Westsail 32 and 28, they use 7/16 for all halyards. I measured mine with a caliper at about a 1/2 inch, and the thing is, running rigging, I can't remember if it gets smaller or bigger with use and getting wet and dirty and stuff. I could see it going either way. I'm not sure. It could just be 1/2 inch. It could be giving me an accurate read on what there is. I'm hoping so, because that would mean that new running rigging could be a little bit smaller and maybe run through those sheaves a little easier. Now I just got to find out what it costs. These are pretty long halyards. I think they're like 110 feet long. And how many do we have? The ones that go all the way up are the main and the Genoa or jib halyard, and then I think there's a spinnaker halyard that it goes up there. So there's 3 that go up there, 3 of those, and then the staysail halyard doesn't go all the way up, so that'll be a little shorter, but they're all the same diameter, so it's going to be a lot to replace all this stuff. There's hundreds of feet, and it's, I'm guessing, at least for like kind of the cheapest good rope, it's probably at least $150 a foot. So if it's 400 or 500 feet, that's a pretty significant chunk of change. So yeah, pretty much right on $157 a foot for stay set. I've used that before and it works fine. I think it's a good rope for the money, so that's probably what I'll shop around, see if I can find a deal, but if not, I'll just I'll go with that. I'm actually going to work on the water tanks first, because I need to set myself up in a way that the boat's livable so that I can actually do other things and not get bogged down. One thing is, I don't trust the water on board. Water's been just sitting in those tanks. This is straight out of the galley sink, and there's like visible like particles floating around. It seems to me like the thing to do is to do a little bit of scrubbing in there, and then probably let some bleach water sit in there for maybe a day, and then flush the system a bunch of times. The problem is, ideally I'd use the electric pump to expel the water. The electric pump doesn't work. So now that I'm thinking about it too, I need to replace all the lines, hoses and stuff. I think I need to replace because they've just been sitting for so long. I'm sure they're disgusting. So in order to clean the tanks, I basically need to, maybe I do the pump first, leave the hoses as is, do the flushes. Once it's been flushed, then empty it with the pump, and then when it's empty, replace all the hoses, and then I'm good. So I guess that's the order of operations. I have a pump. This is a transfer pump. Maybe I can do all this without having to replace the 12 volt pump, because I'll have to order one. So I'm wondering, maybe I can get this project started. I need a short hose for both ends of this, and then I can just route this up to the sink and pull these up. And yeah, when you look in here, like, they don't look that bad. There's pretty good access. I'll be able to just like use a sponge, I think. Okay, I'm back from the store, and I got this brush to scrub the inside. And honestly, I don't even know that it's necessary. It's really clean in there. There's apparently floaties in the water. I have this pump here. I'm gonna use that to drain the tanks. It's working. Okay, both tanks are very close to empty. So now I'm gonna add some bleach and fill them up. See, this is the kind of thing you do that makes everything harder. So you're supposed to use unscented bleach, and I have Spring Fresh bleach. So yeah, I was looking forward to making another trip to the store, so now I don't need an excuse. Just kidding, I don't want to go. Got the unscented bleach, and I just ended up putting in, I estimate maybe like a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup, something like that. Where are the other ones going? My battery died last night on my phone when I was doing this. I'm trying to remember where I was in the whole thing, but yeah, I emptied them last night. I filled them up with bleach, let them sit overnight, and now I'm emptying them same way. Got the pump sitting there, pulling all this water out. But yeah, what I did was I put a whole bunch of pressure on and stuck this in and tried to spray up at all the top, every kind of part of the surface. All right, that one's sucking out and that one's filling up. Try to keep my eye on it, not overfill or let this go dry. It's time to put this on pause because I'm heading up to the Annapolis boat show for the weekend. It's Friday and I got like a 9-hour drive to get up there. And I'll be there Saturday and Sunday and then drive back Sunday night. So I'm at the boat show and we're doing a schooner sail, and Sailor James is over there talking to people. And it's like a meet and greet sail with James deal. I've never been on a boat like this. I don't know anything about this rig. There's our man. I like this Vang setup. They got this Dyneema with an eye on it. And it goes up around a block and then to some tackle. It's pretty cool. Might replicate that.
Ready on the jib!
Oh! And the cats are all there too.
Alright.
Performance cats versus like a
Alright, and it's all prepared so
So looking at a katana that's in San Francisco.
Not yet.
You're in California. You're in San Diego, right? Yeah.
And perfect. Thank you. I appreciate your help. Thank you.
We're gonna put it for you. It's called the Fisherman. It's a little bit different shape than the rest. It's got 4 sides to it. Looks kind of like a trapezoid. Mast on 2 halyards. It's gonna fill the gap way up high. Once we have all 4 sails up, we'll have 1,800 square feet of sail area.
They've flown that sail before.
Watch out, killer. Double killer. That one's got a diaper, watch out. We probably met that dude last year.
Tim.
Super cool.
Yeah, he's got his boat at our marina.
Oh, cool, yeah. Nice, dude.
Yeah, he's been all over the world filming for NPR.
15, 18, we dropped the fishermen. When we're getting low back, is we'll either take down the spatial or we'll the main. We have 2 reef points on the main.
Like trying to get her in there, you know, but
I'll probably go back next year. I will not.
Alien spaceship. That's a great alien. Awesome.
had a thought.
Should
It was like when I was mid-20s, and I said, it doesn't matter. She said, like, there's some Triton and
He had a Triton.
yeah. And it's just, you know, they just scaled them up.
Well, that was day 1 of the boat show. Pretty crazy, super busy. Lots of people. Got to hang out a bunch with James. That was a lot of fun. We went to dinner afterwards. And try not to get killed here. Yeah, I'm walking back. I missed the last shuttle to the parking lot, so I'm now walking, which is actually quite nice, even though I was on my feet all day and I'm kind of tired. But yeah, nice to just kind of like decompress before I get in the car and back on the frickin' interstate. I'm tired of driving after driving across the country a few days ago, and then a 9-hour day yesterday to get up here. All right, here I go. Annapolis is really pretty, and the weather's nice. It's chilly-ish, not chilly, but it's cool out, and it's been raining here and there, so it's kind of like the streets are super reflective, and it's a nice fresh air. So I don't know, it's nice. Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing this in public, but here we are. I got to hang out with Mike from Scanmar, who make the Monitor and the Pelagic Autopilot. That was also very cool. I've met his wife, Susie, before, but not Mike. Really, really nice guy. So yeah, that's the report. I'm not sure if I'm going to come back tomorrow. I've got a ticket, but kind of seeing what I needed to see. I've got a really long drive tomorrow, so might just hit the road in the morning. We'll see. Solid Halloween lights. I should have filmed more. There was a couple of good ones back there. It feels like the kind of town where you can actually still trick or treat, which is it's just a good vibe. That's a good one. I did decide to come back on Sunday just for a quick hour or two to say goodbye to some people. Okay, so that was the boat show. It was really, really cool. Got to meet a few more people that I look up to. I got to meet Andy Shell from 59 North and Rutherford again, and I talked to Mike from Scanmar for quite a while. It was really cool. Could have sat there all day, but I got to get on the road. I got 9 hours to the boat. Sorry I didn't get more video from the show itself. I suck at YouTube. I got some hardware for my running backstays, and I got a freaking deal. That's not gear. I got setups for two running backstays, like the purchase for just like over like $125, which is crazy. Each one of these should have been over that. I got 4 pieces to make 2 running backstays. I also got this really cool electrical tool that I'll show later. This like quick stripper. All right, these are the hoses coming off of the tanks. This probably should be replaced, but with all this gross water in here, I can't take this fitting out because then I'm exposing the tank that I just cleaned to all this gross water. If anything gets in there, I'd probably need to flush the whole thing again. So basically now I'm tasked with getting all this water out, which I don't really have a good way to do. I was doing like syringe by syringe. And I don't know, that's probably like 30 syringes worth or something. I think I'm gonna go get a wet dry vac. I'm almost tempted to pull these tanks out altogether because it's kind of seems like they're just loose, just sitting in there, and they're kind of wedged into place. I might need to remove that board. See, this is how like one thing becomes another. Okay, but that would come out with just 2 screws. So that might be the move. Got a shop vac deal. All right, I've been working on sucking up a bunch of this goo with the shop vac, and I mean it's working, but it's really slow. So I think I'm just gonna now disconnect these, unscrew these, and see if I can just yank this tank out and get good just access below and see what's under. So when I first got the screws out, I realized these won't budge, and I thought they were like glued or epoxied in or something, and then I realized they're just really tight. All right, now she's free. This is this is gonna be crazy. I think I'm gonna take this outside and hose her off. Oh, God. This is why my clothes are always destroyed. It's like, I'm gonna change my pants to do this. Oh, God. Wow. All right. It's like kind of not as bad as I thought. I don't know what these are really supposed to do. It's like some kind of plastic. And it turns out these like spacer deals, they're like stone. They're really heavy. It's kind of interesting. I still don't know. See, that's that sludge. I don't know what it is. Ew. That's gross. Sorry, I'm out of breath. That was kind of heavy. All right, well, we can clean this, you know? Cool. Well, it doesn't like smell terrible, but you know, smell maybe a little fresher when I get it all cleaned up. It's just nice to know like what's under your water tanks and what's in your bilge, and start fresh. Progress. I'm gonna scrub-a-dub-dub this baby. This is how you start bonding with a boat. I feel like getting to know her a little bit better. This is kind of like the beginning of our relationship, as cheesy as that might sound. And I know it's stuff like this that when the refit is done and we're out sailing and it feels great, these are the things I'll think back on. Okay, I got the other tank out, and I didn't have to remove these pieces of wood because I was able to just slide it out towards the other side. Somebody was big mad this day. They lost their wire stripper and their Dunkin' Donuts gift card. Tragic. This whole part of the bilge is partitioned off from the area where the pump is. So the bilge pump is up there. You know, the engine is back there in the other part where the pump is. So I think the idea is, yeah, if you get like a fuel leak or a bad oil leak or something like that, you don't want that water mixing up, you know, with any water that's up here in the forward bilge. You don't want it around your water tanks. Ideally, if you can keep it contained and not like contaminate the whole boat with a bunch of diesel smell, that's a really good thing. But it almost seems like I should install another pump in here because you don't want water just sitting around up here forever. Granted, there shouldn't be much. Anything that ends up here is like nuisance leak water. So, I'll have to have a think on that, but I'm leaning toward putting an extremely small pump, and it wouldn't even have to really go overboard. It would just have to go into the other bilge area. That is likely contributing to the red hue of the water. Both tanks are out, stones are out. Basically, it's completely empty. And now it's time to give her a scrub. Okay. I know that on camera, it doesn't look amazing. And yeah, it could be better, but like this stuff is really caked in there. So this is not, like, I know it looks like you could just wipe all that up real quick or scrub that out. It's really not that easy. This is kind of, I've gotten what will come up with a brush. I think this is good enough for now. Definitely a far cry from where it was. Probably later on when the boat's closer to ready and there's like less pressing stuff to do, I could pull the tanks and put a layer of bilge coat paint in here. Okay, so the hose for the drinking water is right here, and that goes under the engine and all the way to the back of the like engine room or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to use a straight connector to attach the new hose to the old hose and then pull the other end and hopefully snake this line through. It'd be kind of nice if I had another person to like uncoil this and feed it as we go, but I don't, so we'll just see what happens. The connector is connected to both. What I'm hoping doesn't happen is as I pull, I mean, it's probably going to get hung up and stuff, but I just hope it doesn't pull this clean end into anything gross, but we'll see. Maybe I'll like pull most of these coils over and leave it kind of latched like that, maybe like that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And there's the other end. So let's see what happens. All right, I see the new hose right there. Okay, it's right there, but I'm getting a little. Oh, that's what I'm trying to avoid. Okay, I just pulled a whole bunch through. I really hope the end is still out there. I don't see it. Oh no. Oh, it's right there. I don't think either side got contaminated. Alright, so I attached that adapter fitting or whatever. That's a new plastic fitting. And put the hose on and a clamp. That goes up here. And then it's a straight connector for now. At some point I'll make this a T or that valve thing again. So to clarify real quick, what I mean is that normally there's a hose coming from each tank and they meet here at a T with valves and then join into one hose going back. But for now I'm only hooking up one tank, so that's why I'm using a straight connector, and I can add the T later. Then it goes under the engine and comes out back there. It's that clean looking hose. And there's an elbow. That's really a placeholder. That's also going to be a T when it's all properly done. And the T will go to the pump, which is back there, the electric pump. And then the other part comes this way through there to the foot pump. And then it goes out the foot pump to the inlet of this filter. Butting in here again real quick, I did after this install the filter properly on the bulkhead and install that hose clamp and whatnot. Then the outlet of this filter goes back out, up the wall, and there. Oh my god, I can wash my hands. Oh, incredible. has come to finally give the boat a little bath. Nothing fancy. I'm not even, I don't think I'm gonna even use soap because I don't have any. And I think most of the stuff will come off with just water. So I'm rigged up to film it POV style, and hopefully I don't lose my phone. Put these away so I don't spray water in the boat. I think I got all the ports closed well. Get this guy. Let's just do a quick. Let's see how stubborn this stuff is. Oh, it's not very stubborn at all. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Side of the bulwarks. Let's see if we can get any of that off. So I'll probably just do like a quick swipe like that, and then come back with a small brush by hand. Okay, made some serious progress. Nothing like, boat show ready or anything, but side deck's much cleaner. Got all the bird off of the umbrella. Late in the game, I discovered that using a small, where is it? This guy. Using this was actually like more effective and maybe even like kind of faster in a way. That thing allowed me to kind of get into the corners a little better, and some areas like behind the winch pads and stuff like that. She's regained a bit of her dignity, and I'll feel better walking around. I'll probably do another round tonight. This is a good start, and then I can really tweak out, just like with that little toothbrush size thing, just working through all of it. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'll do some more later this eve. Hey, if you made it this far, thank you very much. I have a favor to ask. If you want to provide some feedback, I'm curious how the level of detail was. There was a lot of footage I didn't use because I didn't want it to get too stagnant and boring. A lot of the replacing plumbing fittings and hoses just didn't seem necessary to include. But it still was longer than I anticipated it being. So if you could, if you want to let me know what you thought of the level of detail, if you wanted to see more, or that was already too much, or if I got it right, I'm all ears. So I'd appreciate any feedback. I think the next few episodes might be a little more interesting. I'll be doing some, I'm going to replace I'm going to add a roller furler to the staysail stay, and measure for rigging and sails, and do some engine work and some other projects. So yeah, that will hopefully be cool. And then I'm heading out back to the boat here in a couple weeks for some more. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it, and talk to you later.